Hello, everyone. My name is Matheus Nunes. This is Physics 2. And I'm going to presenting to you guys Lab 1 charged tapes. A quick introduction of the lab was the purpose of the lab was to analyze the interaction between two pieces of clear tape with other objects around them. And also we had to determine what was the excess charge on each piece of tape and create a glow script model to simulate the interactions of the tape between other objects in the experiment. Some assumptions we made was that the tape could be represented as a point charge. The point charge is placed at the center of each tape, and both tape pieces had the same amount of charge. A quick overview of the results was that the excess charge on the tape pieces is 1.53 times 10 to the negative 8, and the electron deficiency is due to the positively charged tape pieces. Some key concepts we used during this lab was Coulomb's law, electric force, Newton's second law, and gravitational force. For the procedures of the lab, we had to get a piece of tape of about 20 centimeters, tape it down at a table and make a quick handle on it, and stick another piece of tape on top of that tape and snatch it off really fast. That would charge up that tape we placed on top. And a way to check was to put your hand close to it. And because our hand and human skin is neutrally charged, the tape would get close to would try to move close to your hand and get attracted by it. And also, if you got another tape and put close to that tape, it would repel because they're both have the same charge. And as I said, some key observations I made was that two pieces of tape that were that were charged would repel each other. The tape would attract my hand, and if you get a piece of plastic, it could be any type of plastic, and rub it on fur or your hair, it would get negatively charged. And if you placed it close to that tape, it would also attract. So by that, we could determine that the tape was positively charged. Here's that quick free body diagram I was able to conclude because of the tape. The red one is tape, the first tape, tape on top, and the blue one is the tape at the bottom that we placed. And as you can see, the tape is being repelled by the other one. This is some data and calculations I made. I got the length, the width, and the weight of the tape. And from there, I was able to determine the gravity force, the charge of the tape, the efficiency of electrons, and also the electric force on that tape. The charge of the tape I determined to be 1.53 times 10 to the negative 8, and the efficiency of electrons was 7.224 times 10 to the 10. This is my glow script model. And this is showing my results of the model. So as you can see, the electric force is going up, and it's completely canceling out that force of gravity. So the conclusion I was able to get was that the charge of the tape pieces was 1.53 times 10 to the negative 8. The electron deficiency of the tape is due to the positively charged tape pieces. And the net force must be equal to 0 for the suspended piece of tape in order for it to flow. So the what if question was, what if the electrons are positively charged and the protons are negatively charged? Would that change the observations made? And that would not change. And this is because the two pieces of tape would still repel because they would still have the same charge. So they would still attract to your hand because our hand is neutral, and they would still repel each other because they still have the same charge. And then the why question, why is the charge of the tape calculated by your hand different than the change found by the glow script? And they're different because there are different varying levels of accuracy and rounding on the computational model and by hand. And this was all for my lab. I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you so much for watching.